All right, this is the third Photoshop tutorial for the Surrealist project number 6, and I'm going to show you how to combine a photograph with a shape. Now, you might think, well, I've already learned that, but the fact is what you learned was how to combine the photograph or insert it into a selection. So if you look up at the top of your tools bar, right under the Move tool, are our selection tools, this one, this, and this, and then there are things inside if you click and hold. But our shape tools are down closer to the bottom. So all of these things from the T to the arrow, and here's the shape tool. These are called our vector tools. They're vector-based tools. And in Photoshop, we can work with raster-based graphics. Those are the graphics based on pixels. We're going to get into this a little more. It's very important. And then we have vector graphics, which are graphics that are made up of paths. And each path has a mathematical formula, which is called a vector, and it tells the path how it should be shaped. All right, so I don't want to get too much into that right now, but the vector tools are down here, our type tool, shape tool, and our path selection tool. So let's start with a shape. I'm going to click and hold here so you can see all the different shapes that you can choose from. And then what I have chose a custom shape. Up at the options is where you can choose your options for the shape. So in the custom shapes, you can look in here. I'm going to choose a heart just for fun to work with, and my fill is red so that you can actually see things really clearly. I'm going to just draw a heart, and within that heart, then I would like to add my photo. So all we have to do, and you can see that the heart came in as a separate layer over here in your layers panel. So I'm going to File, Place Embedded, and pick a photo to add to that. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller just to get started with, but we can always change it later. And what we're going to do, you know how to do this, is we're going to create a clipping mask or clip it down into that shape. You can either right click and choose clipping mask. I'm sorry, but for this, there we go. This tutorial, I couldn't find it quickly on the in Photoshop. Create clipping mask, or another trick is to hold the Option key, and you can see if you click on the line between what you want to connect, it will just make a clipping mask really on the fly. So that's the way I like to work. Hold the Option key and choose clipping mask this way. But you can right click and find it in your menu. Now I can get my Move tool and move my picture. I can edit, free transform, and make this a little bit smaller so it fits in well, and check. So now I have my photo, my shape, and the thing is, when you're working with the vector graphics, it's a little bit different. You're not creating a mask, so you have to merge those two layers. So I'm going to hold my Shift key and select both of these layers, and then right click, and I'm going to merge the layers so they become one layer. Now, if you want to make a change after that, you're going to have to go back into your history and separate them again. Okay? But I'm going to just keep those merged together. Then you can move that around wherever you want it. Shapes are fun to work with, but honestly, you can't get as many effects as you can using your selection tool. So sometimes they can really become a bit corny. So I would use the shape tool pretty sparingly. Let's go back over to the shape tool, and let me show you one other thing. I'm going to draw another heart. As you can see, there is a path along this heart. If you want to modify the shape, you can go right on top of it and select selection tool. And if you click on that, you can move these anchor points so that they, I'm trying to do it. There we go. You can move your anchor points to modify your selection to make something else out of it. This is just a little bit crazy. But again, it's a way to play around with shapes and to do different things to it. That you have to use the direct selection tool to modify your shapes at all. That should be about it. I believe I'm going to delete that shape. And that's how you merge a photo with a vector-based shape.